video contains an ad for Baksu. More about them later. Okay guys, Shadow by the way. About 3 years ago, I made this castle using about 2,500 bricks. And you know, it sounds like a lot, right? But what about 25,000 or 30,000 or 50,000 bricks? That might be a little much, but you get my drift. What if we just scale it up a lot, make a giant castle? I am equal parts terrified and excited. But you know, it couldn't have been that bad, right? There's probably a whole section in hell where they only sit and glue bricks to castles, right? I've actually already started working a bit on the project. So here we have the base. It's freaking huge. And it's made out of XPS foam cut in 3 layers. So I've just used my box knife to kind of carve it out. And over here, we have some of these things, which is just plaster cast in these aluminum foil things that I've just crinkled up. And this is gonna make some rock surfaces that we can glue onto the base. Step 1, smash. Step 2, glue. Step 3, river. Step 4, acetone. Step 5, sculpt the mold. That's it, it's finished. Bye. No, I'm kidding. We're finished with the boring part of the project. Well, not directly boring, well, yes, a little boring, I have to admit. So now we have a nice base with a river path going here, a little hill in the middle, and the castle is obviously gonna sit on this hill. First of all, we have to make the base for the castle, because I could glue 1 and 1 brick on top of each other and like make the architecture that way, but oh my lord, no. There's limits to the amount of work I want to do, and it's gonna be enough just gluing it to a wall. So we're gonna make the walls out of cardboard because we have a lot of trash. We're gonna use that as our base, and then we can glue the bricks onto that later. Oh my god, it's so huge. But it looks so good. Jesus Christ, I mean, it's so much better than I imagined in my head with the spires and the windows. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever to glue bricks to this. Which is also why they're kind of like narrow at the top here, and the towers are also kind of narrow because we're gonna glue bricks to this, so it's gonna be way chunkier. But yeah, we have the cardboard base, so now we can start cutting all the bricks. Which is gonna be fun, don't worry. I got a little like brick cutting station here. I got my hot wire foam cutter and an extraction tube to get the fumes out, because it fumes and it stinks and it's awful. So this is just to get that out of the way. And I'm gonna use some XPS foam to make my bricks. It's just a really nice dense blue foam. And we're gonna cut so many bricks. And if I remember correctly, it wasn't really the brick cutting that was awful, it was the gluing the bricks that was not the most fun. So I'm gonna enjoy this while I can. Let's cut some bricks. I've just cut about 2,500 bricks. I know it doesn't look like it, but I counted all the strips and then I know how many bricks I get from one strip, and it's pretty easy to calculate how many you get. It was fairly quick cutting this many, but we have like 20,000 more to go, so we just gotta keep going. Okay, So here we have 24,000 bricks. It hasn't actually been as bad as I imagined. It's been pretty chill, you know, just drinking coffee, listening to a podcast, and relaxing. It's pretty satisfying actually, just cutting these small things and filling up these giant boxes. I've never seen so many bricks in my entire life. Just looking at these boxes, I would never have guessed that these are 24,000, but I've counted, so I'm pretty sure it's at least around that. But now comes the part that I've been dreading the most, which is gluing all of these bricks to the castle. The last time I did this, I had possibly the least efficient way of gluing bricks to anything ever, which was just, you know, hot glue, single brick, hot glue, single brick. I can feel my soul wither away. So I'm basically just gonna use hot glue to glue one line of bricks down here, just so I can stack other bricks on top here using Mod Podge instead. Because then I can just like put a layer of glue, stack a layer, put a layer, stack a layer, and do it hopefully way faster than what I did in the past. We already have 2 down, so number 3, let's go! It's taken me pretty much exactly 2 hours covering this up, so it's not too bad. We just gotta keep moving and hopefully we'll be done with this wall pretty quick. I'm just now starting to realize why I haven't done this in so long, because it is taking forever to glue all of these bricks on. I mean, I'm now done with 3 of the walls completely, both the inside and outside, and I have 1 more wall left, just the inside. It's exhausting for my back to like stand and bend over to try to reach the inside of the castle, and it's really straining for the hands to just separate the bricks and glue them on, like more than you'd think. Both Hansi and I have been working on this for, I think, 3 full days just gluing the bricks, and we managed to do almost all the walls except for the towers and the first floor of the main building. So we still have like 2 more floors as well as the giant towers and these towers left. So yeah, it's taking a lot of time. Oh, and by the way, last time a lot of people told me to use these brick texture rollers, but the thing about them is you don't get this nice individual brick look. Like, it's different, okay? I prefer this look and I'm gonna suffer for it, so shut up! Just a quick little update on how I'm covering the corners of the buildings. I tried one method where I cut out individual bricks and kind of stacked them like this, and it looks really cool, but oh my god, it's taking forever. And on the other side here, Hansi came up with a different method where we kind of just cut one long strip and cut that into longer like stones. This method is taking like 1/8 of the time of that one, and to be honest, I think it looks equally good. So I'm gonna go with the fast method on this one. So I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the corners and then we can do the final detailing on the wall. I'll see you in hell. Okay, so I thought it could be kind of funny to compare the old castle to the new. Just look how freaking huge this is! Like 35,000 bricks, 2,500 bricks. My god, and I remember so well how I thought this was just the biggest, craziest project I had ever done. And it was at the time, but I mean... And yes, we had to make a lot more bricks, so we're now at around 35,000. And it's just crazy to think about how this part of the wall alone is about the same amount of bricks as this entire castle. And I think it's kind of funny that we have about the same composition here as well. Like, we have a river, the bridge, river, bridge, tower, spires, but it's just way overdone. If you just grab some aluminum foil, right? Just rip off a piece and then crinkle it into a little ball. You can just use this and just roll it on the bricks. And you'll get a really nice texture from this. This is gonna take a while, so let's just roll a time lapse. With the texturing, and now I'm gonna cover everything in this mix of Mod Podge acrylic paint and water, just to act as the base for the paint and make it a bit more sturdy. Now, before we move on, it's time for an ad for Baksu. If you haven't heard about them before, Baksu is a monthly subscription service that delivers premium Japanese snacks and tea straight from Japan to your door. I've been to Japan once, and one of the most memorable and fascinating things I remember about the trip was the food. There were just so many weird and delicious dishes and snacks that I had never seen and never tasted before, which is what these boxes provide. You get a little bit of culture through the snacks, and it comes with a booklet that tells you a little more about the theme of the box. Because each box has a new theme, so for example, this month's theme is Sakura season, so it comes packed with all these limited edition cherry blossom themed snacks, and the booklet tells you more about the cherry blossom traditions in Japan. I especially love the little mochi candies in these ones. It's these squishy ones. So delicious. If you think this sounds interesting, you can have your own little Sakura season celebration by clicking our link down below and using our code NERDFORGE to save $15 off your first box. And back to the project. We managed to cover the whole wall in this Mod Podge mix, and oh my god, it's looking so much better now. There's still a lot of painting left because I want to make it look like some sort of white rock. And the main castle in the middle here isn't finished yet. Hans is still working on some of the beams and the windows and stuff, just the last details. And once that is finished, we're gonna paint that as well. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna finish working on the base. So I'm gonna cover this with paint, try to make it look like rock, and then we can cast the river in some epoxy resin in the front here. Ta-da! Hansi just finished assembling all of this, so this is our main castle that is going inside the walls here. It's now covered in Mod Podge and everything, so it's ready to be painted. It's still missing some details like the roof shingles and some details on the doors here, but we're gonna deal with those once we finish painting the bricks. So to figure out how I'm gonna paint this, I've studied some different kinds of rock, and I've kind of landed on white quartz as my reference, because it's just this gorgeous white, kind of shimmery rock that I just think a whole castle with that rock would look amazing. And the thing is, if you study it closely, you can see that it has all these undertones of yellows and oranges, but also some like pink and purplish colors. So I want to try to catch all of those undertones in the paint job. I'm just gonna mix up some of these undertone shades and water it down by a lot so we can kind of use them as washes around the castle, and basically paint the same way we did with the ground by applying some more washes and some dry brushing on top to sort of bring it all together. Let's paint! Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. Look at it! All of it! I think it looks really good, although it's not exactly what I was going for. It kind of ended up looking like a light gray kind of rock instead of white. I think where it went wrong was all the way in the beginning when I put a light gray coat as the base coat, because it was kind of hard to bring the white back in, so I think it would have been better if I put a white base coat on first. That's something to consider for later. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. Now we can finally start working on all the grass and all the foliage and stuff that is going around the castle. To apply the grass, we have a super fancy and very weird tool. It's called a static grass applicator. We've had a lot of questions about this because it's really weird. So it looks like this, where you screw off the cap here and you can put some grass, like this sort of grass, in here. On the other end here, you connect it to a little pin. So you apply some glue to where you want the grass, you stick the pin in the grass, and that conducts electricity, and then you turn this thing on, upside down, shake it, and you get grass that stands. It's basically like sorcery. It's a wand, a grass wand. But yeah, it's a super fancy tool that gives a really realistic effect compared to just like spreading it on with your hands, because it doesn't stand upright. That's basically what we're gonna do now. Put the glue, put the grass, shake it like crazy, and then magic. Oh my god, it looks so much better with the grass on. Holy crap. And like, we're getting so close to the end. We only have making the roofs, painting the roofs, and then adding some trees and foliage left. Oh, it's finally time for the final assembly. Let's go! Woo! but finally it's done. Holy crap, it looks so much better than the old one. Like, no hate on the old one, but I'm super happy with the paint job and just the composition and everything. And just before, after, before, after. We have spent way too much time on this. We were planning to spend 2 weeks originally. It has now been over a month. I don't know how I thought I could spend only 2 weeks making a castle of 35,000 bricks. It's my forever optimism. But holy crap, it's finally finished and I'm so happy with it. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you so much for sticking with us and watching our videos, because you guys' support means the world to us. I mean, especially now that we don't post so often and we make giant stuff like this. And of course, a giant thanks to our patrons for continuing to support us, because you guys' support makes it possible for us to even spend this much time on a project when we have to and we want to make it good. Final thoughts, don't make a castle with 35,000 bricks. Save yourself your sanity and just get a texture roller. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and now it's finally time. Let's have a look at the final results!